podcast is available on Spotify. Just search From the Pavilion End. We are also available on Apple Podcast, Amazon Music, and on YouTube Podcast. Please show your love by subscribing and following the podcast. And please like the episode and share it with your friends. Hello and welcome to another edition of From the Pavilion End. The first test between India and Bangladesh in Chennai has finished today. Today we will do a review of what happened, what was expected, and then we would look ahead to Kanpur test, which is the second test between India and Bangladesh. We will also take a cursory glance at what Afghanistan is achieving in the cricketing field in Sharjah against South Africa, and also discuss a little bit about the Australian tour of white ball tour of England. In today's session, we have Muntakim Dada from Dhaka joining in live from Dhaka, as well as Omorto from Kolkata along with myself. So let's start at Chennai. So, Dada, the Chennai test was supposed to be a test where Bangladesh would put the Indian team against some very strong questions. It was expected that this would be one of the more hard-fought battles. We have had many hard-fought battles between India and Bangladesh in the white ball format. It was expected that that would translate into a red ball battle between these two teams for the first time. And two-thirds way till the first day, it did appear that it would be one of the tightest tests that India has had in a long, long time. However, the third session of the first day saw something completely different. And two all-rounders from India, Ravindra Jadeja and Ravichandran Ashwin, the Ravi and Ravi partnership, took Bangladesh bowlers apart. Before I come to the pitch and the conditions and what was in store for the Indian batsmen on that first morning, I want to ask you first thing, were you surprised that Bangladesh won the toss and chose to bowl? First thing. And second thing, were you surprised that Bangladesh started with 3 pace bowlers in Chennai? Of course, if you are opting to bowl, then you need 3 pace bowlers.
No, I wasn't surprised at all. Yeah, it was the first thing that has happened in Chennai for 21 years. That's a team won the toss and decided to bowl first. In a typical Chennai pitch, it's a suicidal decision because in the fourth innings you will have to face Ashwin and Jadeja. But on the basis of what was offered from Chennai, the red soil, and the freshness of the pitch, start of the season, overcast conditions, and when you have that three-pace attack, uh, it was probably the 60-40 decision in favor of Bangladesh because they wanted to utilize the condition, and they actually started the way they actually started to, they believed to start. Yeah, so it was uh, according to the plan, I believe. And when you want to win the toss and up to bowl first, you have to have that three-pace luxury. Otherwise, only a couple of pacers won't do that job for you. So yeah, in winning the toss and deciding to bowl first and having three pacers in your side was okay for me. So that was not big surprise, but yeah, they played with the resource that they were possessing.
Okay, so let's talk about the pitch, in fact. The pitch was there were a lot of discussions around the pitch on before that first test. There were two options, whether to have a red soil or to have a black soil pitch. Both of them were possible in Chennai. A red soil pitch usually aids a little bit of bounce. A black soil pitch is usually more low bounce. Because India wanted their pace bowlers also to be in action, they chose the red soil pitch. And for the red soil pitch, the negative part of the red soil pitch is that it cannot retain water for long. Because of this, by the end of the second day or the third day, the pitch crumbles, it becomes powdery, so that it starts dusting. And India were also aware of the fact that Bangladesh had good spinners. So they did not want the pitch to be such spin friendly so soon. So what they did was they watered the pitch on the day before the first test started, the night before the first test started. And then they rolled it with a heavy roller. The assumption was that the pitch would thus get that water would get retained. So the pitch would retain that, pitch would not crumble so soon, like the second evening or the third morning or evening. Nobody actually had predicted that the first morning of that test would be such cloudy. Dinesh Karthik in his commentary said that it is almost like London in Chennai. Now, it is impossible to have London in Chennai, but if you have such a cloud cover for so long, what that meant was that the pitch was moist. In fact, there is a another commentary stint where I think Ravi Shastri or Dinesh Karthik, one of them mentions that Rohit Sharma goes into the pitch to test it, puts a spike in, and the spike goes in deep. It is that moist. As soon as people find out, because there is no sunshine on that first morning at all, so the watering of the pitch on the night before stays back and the pitch remains moist. That moisture automatically means it is a bowl first pitch with 3 pace bowlers for both teams. So I'm absolutely with you. Both the teams said that they would bowl first. It is how much advantage you can take from that pitch in the first few hours. Now, what did transpire was that the pitch remained like that for 2 sessions because the cloud cover remained like that for first 2 sessions. India lost 6 wickets in those first 2 sessions. And then the sun first came up during the third session, during the afternoon session, late in the afternoon. That is when the pitch first got its sunlight and the pitch first started a little bit of, that moisture started getting dried. So that was the pitch story. Now let me come to Amurto. India were jolted like anything on that first morning. They were 3 down in next to no moment, 3 for 34. I think 3 for 34 was the score. Many Indians felt, and many Bangladeshis also felt, that this is because of our new pace attack. But I wanted to take it in a different direction. India played 2 tests in Bangladesh in 2022, end of 2022. One in Chattogram, one in Mirpur. In Chattogram, on the first morning, India lost Virat Kohli at the score of 47. So they were 3 down for 47. Okay, first day. It was then Cheteshwar Pujara and Shreyas Iyer who had a partnership. And then at the end of it, once more, Ravichandran Ashwin and Kuldeep Yadav had a 93-run partnership. And that is how they crossed 400 in that first innings. Ultimately, again, Bangladesh did not make any runs in the first innings of Chattogram. Kuldeep Yadav took a 5-wicket haul. That is why they won easily. But the first morning, India were 47 for 3. Come the second test, which was in Mirpur. Again, the first 3 wickets, they fall within I mean, again, Kohli fails. So first 3 wickets again falls under, I think, 40 or 50. Um, uh, or maybe 60 or 70. And they are 4 wickets down by around 100 runs. And then Rishabh Pant plays the innings of 93. In the second innings of that same match, India are 7 down for 75. And the third wicket falls at, I think, 34. Okay. So I wanted to point out this feature of India versus Bangladesh in the last 3 tests. There is a pattern, and the pattern is that the top order inevitably is failing against the Bangladesh bowling, be it pacer, spinner. Chattogram, it was pacers. Mirpur, it was pacers. In the second innings, it was all spinners. Here it was pace. So there is a history here. So I wanted you to talk about our top order. Top order meaning maybe 1, 2, 3, and 4.
I think it's a shift in mentality mostly rather than anything else that has got to do tactically or technically with the openness. I think when you are playing the likes of subcontinental team as India, you are always on the front foot and you want to have that fast start even in tests because we have had the likes of we have had a history with openers like. Shikhar Dhawan, who have given us fast start. So India as a team under Gotham Gambhir also and under Ravi Shastri also in their leadership, they want a fast start even in Test cricket so that when the ball gets old and it starts spinning in subcontinental pitches, the middle order batters have a significant amount of runs to capitalize on. But sometimes this approach does backfire, and it has been backfiring a lot, especially for Rohit Sharma. I think he has a very, very bad record against Bangladesh. He's had a first innings average of about 8 against Bangladesh. And it just keeps on happening. I don't know for what reason. But then again, this is an issue that has to be resolved, and it is mostly an approach based issue that we have to talk about because they want a fast start and with that fast start also the capitalization part a big lead even in the first innings and you like as it has been that India like whatever we have had India want to take 20 wickets in both the innings and bundle out the teams and that has been the mentality when you are going forward playing test matches even in foreign soils also so when they're playing in India, in India or even in the subcontinent, the approach is much more aggressive than what it has been in foreign soils, especially in the likes of England or even in New Zealand or Australia. So I think as good as it is as an approach, there are times where you will expose your middle order and lower middle order time and again. And we have seen that there are chances of collapses. There are chances of the tail enders getting exposed and not having enough runs on the board to capitalize upon. This test, I think, both Ravichandran Ashwin, Ravindra Jadeja, even Yashasvi Jaiswal in the first innings took the responsibility upon themselves that yes, we need to get the boat ahead, but it doesn't happen all the time. So the team needs to be cautious. The players need to be cautious. Even with the reviews, also the players need to be cautious because I believe that Virat Kohli missed a review where he had nicked the ball and he was given out in the bowling of Mehdi Hassan Miraz. I didn't take it. So these are things when you have starts, when you have that platform that you need to capitalize upon. And that is what I think that is more approach based rather than anything else.
Okay. Mudaginda, what was your feeling going through the first 2 sessions on the first day? 3 wickets in the first session, all three very big wickets, and then 3 wickets in the second session, which included again all the batsmen. So all the batsmen were gone by midway through the second session.
Actually, at that point of time, it was looking like a great toss to win because the bowlers were getting the assistance a little bit, or from Hassan Mahmud, it was quite inevitable that he's getting more purchase in from the pitch. And yeah, Nahid Rana was bowling with some faster deliveries, which actually has given him the wicket of Jaiswal, who actually was well set and was looking great for something big, but because of some extra pace, he got rid of him. And on the other side, yes, Hassan was going great guns, but when it was 6 for 144, it was looking like that probably India will fold out under 250 or something like that. We had the um, believe or whatever the doubt that Ashwin and Jadeja will put up a fight. But the way they have handled the pressure and the way they have counter attacked themselves, uh, at that point of time, the bowlers look clueless and they forgot how to implement the basics. And yeah, after two sessions, probably that 199 partnership was the game defining, and the game was gone right from there for Bangladesh.
So I just want to give you a perspective. What is common to Arjuna Ranatunga, Neil Mackenzie, Temba Bavuma, Mahmudullah, Sherwin Campbell, Geoff Marsh, Ramiz Raja, Amir Sohail, the England opener Zach Crawley, former West Indies opener Wavell Hines, Roston Chase, Indian opener Wasim Zafar, current Bangladeshi captain Nazmul Hossain Santo, former Zimbabwe batsman Hamilton Masakadza, the great Indian opener Pankaj Roy, Dilip Sardesai, Australian player Greg Blewett, South African player Andrew Hudson, Roshan Mohanama, Sanjay Manjrekar, Shan Masood, Russell Arnold, Shakib al Hasan, Andrew Flintoff, Sean Pollock, Shane Watson, Chris Cairns, Richard Hadley, Moeen Ali, Moeen Khan, Jason Holder, Vinu Mankad, Abdul Razak, Mark Boucher, Alan Knott, Ian Healy, Rod Marsh, Jeff Dujo, Brad Haddin, Sarfaraz Ahmed, Butler, the England wicketkeeper Butler, Dinesh Ramdin, West Indies, Lytton Das, Matthew Wade. Okay, all of these players, can I put them into a one single bracket?
Single bracket.
Okay, let me help you. Yes, we can put them into one single bracket. All the names that I have taken, all of them have played at least, batsmen have played more than 30 tests, and the wicketkeeper and all-rounders have at least played more than 50 tests. Okay, all-rounders like Chris Cairns, Richard Hadley, Moeen Ali, Jason Holder, Vinu Mankad, Abdul Razak, these are Shakib al Hasan, and they have all been surpassed in the number of centuries by Ravichandran Ashwin. Ravichandran Ashwin has now more test centuries than Sanjay Manjrekar, Arjuna Ranatunga, Temba Bavuma, Zach Crawley, Shakib al Hasan, Andrew Flintoff, Sean Pollock, Shane Watson, Moeen Ali, Jason Holder, Vinu Mankad, Mark Boucher. Take any of these names. Wasim Jafar. These are very big names. Roston Chase. People are still playing. Zach Crawley is the poster boy of baseball. Okay. Greg Blewett. Shane Watson. Ian Healy played more than 100 tests. Okay. And this guy has now overtaken everyone in number of centuries that he has made. 4 centuries from number 8 or below, which is same as Dan Vettori's record. And it was he who started that counter attack on that day. Ravindra Jadeja was more like, playing solidly, but Ashwin was the person who, took out that Bangladesh attack. The way he was punching the pace bowlers, that was, I think, the most pleasing to the eye. Ashwin has always been a great timer of the ball. I don't know, why India has not used it in a much more constructive way. He times the ball so well. He could have been, somewhat of a floater in white ball cricket if they had actually planned it better. But these are all big names. I mean, I named, I think, 3 or 4 current captains. Shan Masood is a current captain. Nazmul Hossain Santo is a current captain. So first I will ask Omurto about Ravi Ashwin's batting, whether it's unfulfilled promise or whether it is something that we have, it is an underappreciated talent.
I think it is a mix of all the things actually. It is a unfulfilled promise because I think and it is better as an unfulfilled promise, I believe, because last time when we tried to um, convert a player who was a genuine bowler into a batter, we destroyed his bowling ability as well. I'm talking about Irfan Pathan here, who was a very good bowler for India. But Greg Chappell decided to have him as a bowling all rounder who could bat and everything else. But it didn't work out for him. His batting did improve, but it didn't work out for him. But then again, some promises are not meant to be fulfilled, and that is why you have him as a savior in these sort of innings. And it is good that Ashwin comes in handy here, but I think no one really counts out that fact that Ashwin can bat and he can score those big runs or buy out India from positions of criticality. And he has that temperament as well. Like if you're batting at a strike rate at 93.33, that means that you know your cricket pretty well. You're not some mug with a bat who has just got lucky to have got around 113 odd runs in the first innings. So that really shows that you have it under your belt, used, unused, because again, you expect someone like a Yashasvi Jaiswal, you expect someone like a Rohit Sharma. If you have all these names under your belt, you would expect runs from them, but not Ravichandran Ashwin. Yeah, but yes, again, in the second innings, his performance with the bowling, you would definitely expect that. But to have someone like him who can bow out from those situations. I think I don't know if people remember, there was a time when Australia had Ian Harvey who would contribute with the bat as well as bowl. So he would come out very handy a few times. There was Vernon Philander as well for South Africa was like that itself, that he was no mug with the bat. Even when Jofra Archer started off in his career, he wasn't really a mug with the bat, and he still isn't. He can use the long handle. Ashwin also, like how he was like when he started playing for his college team, he would come up at around 4 5 to bat. That was his history of he was a genuine batter. He started off as a genuine batter when he started off with the school cricket days. Later on, he moved on to spin bowling and found his craft in spin bowling. But I think all these aspects that have been taken, I think all of them have worked very well for Ashwin as a cricketer. There will be days again when Ashwin will fail with the bat, and that is absolutely fine with it because the talent list and the kind of batters that we have in our own kitty, I think the batters need to deliver faster. Rather than Ashwin saving us or Ashwin bailing us out, we need to understand that these batters that we have in uh, our disposal, the batters came in handy. Definitely Shubman Gill and Rishabh Pant both came in very handy in the second innings, and that is how we want it more than that.
No, but the point here is that you have a player who comes in at 7 or 8,
Number eight,
number 8, who has test centuries, which
yes.
are numbers are more than some of the recognized openers or recognized modern day legends or captains of their national team. And he also happens to 8th all-time wicket taker ever in Test history. He'll soon become 7 because he'll go past Nathan Leon. He is that kind of a package. And I feel that at 38, we are not yet that close to Ashwin's, end of it. He's still fit enough to last another WTC cycle, not just this one. Now let's talk about Ravi Jadeja. Ravi Jadeja, I don't believe people give him also the credit. I don't think people put him also in that light as, generally one should or one could. I happen to always compare the three all-rounders, which are Imran Khan, Shakib al Hasan, and Ravi Jadeja. Somebody will call it a sacrilege that how can you take Ravi Jadeja's name in the same breath as the great Imran Khan. Imran Khan scored 3,807 runs in 88 tests at an average of 37.69, and he took 362 wickets in those 88 tests at an average of 22.81. Ravi Jadeja has played 73 tests and he has 3,122 runs, which is so he has played 15 less tests and he has around 700 less runs than Imran Khan. His average is currently 36.72. So it's just 1 point off Imran Khan's average. And the way it is rising, I'm pretty sure if they both happen to play 88 test matches, Ravi Jadeja's average will be higher than Imran's average. And the number of wickets, he is at 299 wickets in 73 tests. Again, if he plays 15 more test matches, he would have more than the 362 wickets. So he's off Imran by 63 wickets. I'm absolutely sure in the 15 test, he will take more than 63. So if they both happen to play 88 test matches, he would have a higher test runs with a higher average and a higher number of wickets. And please bear it in mind, he is only a spinner. And traditionally, spinners have a higher average. But his average is 23.98 bowling average. Imran's was 22.81. So again, he is off Imran by just one average point on the bowling side also. I mean, this is the package that you just cannot believe that India is so lucky to have at number 7 and number 8. Muntaqim Dada, when that partnership started, did you really expect that it would go on like this? Were you somehow feeling that it was probably the bowling was probably aided too much by the conditions, which is why they were successful in the first two sessions?
Actually, uh, there was expectation that these two would put up a fight. Actually, I had doubts that Ravi Ashwin, Ravi Ashwin was the person who actually took the Mirpur test away from our grasp, because Shreyas Iyer was the so-called last recognized batter, and he was actually blocking one side. And Ravi Ashwin was the one person who was taking attack of Miraz and Shakib in that Mirpur test second innings. And then later Shreyas Iyer joined the party. So same thing happened here as well. He took the charge, he took the lead, and then Jadeja helped him. At, at some point, Jadeja was aggressive. He was actually playing well against the spinners, but Ravi Ashwin was the one who was actually neutralizing the faster bowlers. Yeah, the bowlers were tired. They were trying too many things, but yeah, he played the situation pretty well, and most importantly, he played the bowlers on their merit. He knew Hassan was getting the purchase, so he actually uh, charged the other two first, and then even Hassan, when he got tired, he was also the grasp of Ravi Ashwin. He actually scored the century, you can say, in an ODI style. Yeah, his strike rate was pretty high, and he was playing pretty easily. And if the other side it wasn't Ravi Jadeja, if probably it was Rishabh Pant or something like that, he probably would have played even in the T20 style as well, because he was scoring at his will. So that's praise for Ravi Ashwin. But on the other hand, Jadeja played the perfect role first to have the supporting one. He missed out his century. He was got out in the 86. Just one lack of concentration probably in the morning session. But again, the way he handled the pressure, he eased Ashwin that you carry on and I'll be blocking one side. And one package was missing in your all analysis, that he's probably the best fielder at present, and that adds with his batting and the bowling ability. Imran probably wasn't as electric as he is. So he is even a better package for any team, and a luxury to have in a number 8 position. Probably he's batting with number 8 position in the test. So yeah, having Ashwin and Jadeja in 7 or 8 is a blessing in disguise, in a sense that if it was needed that they will be playing for the fourth innings, yeah, they would have done that. Because they were in some sort of trouble in the first inning, they bailed them out and actually put them. Uh, if you can remember, I in the preview session in the other podcast, I said 350 to 400 would be probably the safest score in Chennai Test, and that was proven pretty correct. 376 was way too much for Bangladesh, though probably their batting in the first innings was questionable.
So first day, I think a lot of Indians felt that India has now come to a position where they would probably not lose. It was not evident in the score because Bangladesh still had to bat, but given the nature of Chepauk pitch, which usually deteriorates very easily, that was something that Indians probably felt that they have achieved. However, we still had to let the Bangladeshi batsmen play, and they had had a very commendable series in Pakistan. So we were sure there would be a fight. But ultimately, that fight was very minimal. Only Litton and Shakib put on a 50-run partnership. There were two very big aspects that we need to talk about on the Bangladesh first innings. First one is what on earth can probably push a team to have four left-handers as 1, 2, 3, and 4. I mean, I'm not saying that it's bad. There can be four right-handers as 1, 2, 3, and 4. But four left-handers is a very unique situation. And then you have number 6 also as left-hander. Especially when you know you are playing against probably the two best bowlers against left-hander. One is Bumrah, the other one is Ashwin. And then secondly, how come all those top 4 have the same problem with the ball coming in from outside off towards their stumps, and they all get out in that fashion? Three batsmen got out in that fashion.
Easy to understand that they have that weakness, because it was inevitable in Pakistan as well. And the moment the faster bowler come from the round the wicket, they have some problem. They are pretty unsure about their off stump. Uh, they are pretty unsure about which ball to leave and which to play. Shadman got out in the very first over in that fashion. He made a big error in judgment. Against Bumrah, you cannot have that kind of a luxury to make an error in the judgment, because that Vernier scale uh, difference is good enough for Bumrah to strike. And then again, Akashdeep probably bowled Zakir and Mominul in consecutive deliveries, almost in the same fashion. There was gap in between the bat and pad, and the ball went through there. So it was pure technical weakness. The other thing is that 4 top order batsmen who are lefties, as Mahmud Hassan Joy was not picked for this test. So the only other option could have been putting Mushfiq or Litton up in the order. But from our dressing room, it's the news that both of the two batters feel comfortable when the initial stages of the faster bowlers finishes. When the ball gets a little older, actually their record also suggests that they are not as well as they are in against the newish ball, as they are better in the a little bit oldish ball. So Litton and Mushfiq, they are unwilling to come up in the order. They wants to play in the 5 and 6 and other things, and that's actually compelled Bangladesh to go with the 4 lefties. Yeah, probably we'll be seeing a change in the next test. Mahmud Hassan Joy will be picked probably in place of Zakir Hassan.
So, Dada, what is your reaction, feeling about that first innings after they managed to get India out pretty cheaply? I would say 339 for 6, got all out within 370.
Yeah, that was pretty disappointing, but because Bangladesh got the opportunity to bat in the probably best possible time in the pitch, that is in the second day. The sun was shining, and they showed a very horrible looking batting performance, losing 5 for 40 in no time actually. And then again, when everybody was thinking that Leighton and Shakib put up a counter punch, they they actually opted to commit suicide after Leighton's sweep shot. I don't know how on earth Shakib attempts to play reverse sweep. That is not his shot. Tamim Iqbal in a comment was saying the same thing, that he is not used to play reverse sweep. Reverse sweep is the shot what actually poses with our captain Shanto. He actually showed that in the second innings as well, that he is quite capable of playing reverse sweep. But I don't know why Shakib opted to do that rightly after the fall of wicket of Leighton Kumar Das. That 149 was the end of the game. If it was 100 more runs, the thing could have been changed in a sense that the deficit was lesser. India would have batted a bit more.
Word or two about Bumrah's spell in that first innings of Bangladesh.
I think Bumrah knows what his role is in a team. Like any other player, you don't have to. He's a very responsible candidate for picking up those crucial wickets, and he knows what his role is. That is very well defined. You will have the likes of Akashdeep, you will have the likes of Siraj, who are very good bowlers, but they will have their off days. But Bumrah is so consistent. He just knows what his strengths is. He's what we call in business schools, what we call as a SWOT analysis. He has done his SWOT analysis pretty well, and he knows what his strong point is, and he bowls according to that. He knows what he has, and like he says in his interviews also, that there is no, in my mind, there is no batter that I can't beat. There is no batter that I cannot dismiss. So he always takes that into his stride, that yes, if I am coming back for a spell, if I'm asking the captain to put me back into bowling, I have that responsibility to either build up that pressure that some other bowler can benefit from, or I have that ability that I produce that magic ball that brings up that wicket. So that is what Bumrah is as a package overall. He is phenomenal.
I think that ball to Mushfiqur Rahim, which actually was swerving in a dead pitch when there was no moisture, and then Mushfiqur Rahim was covering that,
Pendant.
and then it swung some more when it passed the bat. That was probably the ball of the match for me. That's probably definitely the ball of the match for me. What is your thought about Akashdeep and the way he got the two batsmen out, ball after ball, in two consecutive balls? And I think which was definitely some plan from the Indian think tank. Morning Morkel must have seen the dismissals in Pakistan and hatched that plan.
For Akashdeep also, it was more of like sticking to the plan, because when you're bowling to the left-handers, and usually when you have left-handers, they have that similar sort of pattern. Most left-handers are very good drivers of the ball, like when you're talking about the cover drive or the off drive that you have, or they're very good drivers of the ball. So Akashdeep, probably when he got that the first wicket, he already had that line and that landing area altogether. He knew that exactly what point I am going to pitch that ball, and it would do its own thing. And he bowled that similar line, similar point of time, and it just took off everything. That is just one of those situations where you have this thing where you're so focused that you know exactly where to hit the bullseye, and the ball will do the rest of the talking. I think Akashdeep was very, very focused, and that is what helped him. And to left-handers especially, I think that another thing that Bangladesh actually played into those hands. For Akashdeep also, he has a better record against left-handers. I think even in the Ranji circle, he has a better record against left-handers, and he bowled, picked up that line, picked up that spot in the pitch where you hit the sweet spot, and it is just a very difficult area for the batsman to commit to a shot, and that is what helped him.
So let's come to the second innings of India, and like Dada said, Virat Kohli was unlucky, but Rishabh Pant, another player who hit his sixth Test century, just like Ravi Ashwin. I have already earmarked Rishabh Pant to be one of those players who would become a 10,000 run, he would cross the 10,000 runs. If he had not missed out 2 years of Test cricket, he would have probably already been halfway there. So despite missing 2 years of Test cricket, Rishabh Pant now has 6 centuries, and he is lower than only 7 or 8 wicket keepers all time in the all-time list. Gilchrist, of course, has 17 centuries. Andy Flower has 12. Les Ames, the England wicketkeeper from before the World War II, he had 8. A.B. de Villiers has 7 when he played as a designated wicketkeeper. Matt Pryor from England has 7. Kumar Sangakkara hit 7 centuries as a designated wicketkeeper. And B.J. Watling of New Zealand, he hit 7 Test centuries. But interestingly, of these all people, there are only 4 names, which have a 100 per innings ratio better than Rishabh Pant. Rishabh Pant has scored 6 centuries in 58 innings. Only Gilchrist, Flower, Ames, and de Villiers, these are the only 4 names who have scored at a faster rate, centuries at a faster rate while they were keeping. Please bear in mind, Rishabh Pant also has 6 scores between 90 and 100. So he has 6 centuries, 6 scores between 90 and 100, and 1 score which is 89 not out, which was in Brisbane. So this guy is bound for greatness. Shubman Gill was the other player who scored a century in that second innings. Shubman Gill, since he has come down to 3, had a very rough time. But probably from the second half of that England series, he has now slowly established himself, given himself that kind of runs, cushions, which inspire confidence. Although I will still say one thing, that this guy is still not scoring runs in the first innings. We need him to score runs in the first innings. Bangladesh made a great start in the second innings. And then by the end of the day, I think they lost 2 wickets too many. There were 3 brilliant catches.
Everybody was playing that it was a lost game, so just going to enjoy the game, trying to be positive. Yeah, it's good to be positive, but you have to know the limit of being positive. At least you have to have that composure to be patient and to be in the crease. Just like Shanto. Yeah, Shanto was playing aggressively, but he had the caution with aggression mixture in his batting ability. Uh, Zakir got out in 33, so does Shadman in 35. So these 30s won't make anything, or it won't count as something good for the team. So yeah, Mushfiq got out after hitting 6 to Ashwin. So I don't know what was the hurry, because it's not like that they will end the test and will come back to Bangladesh. They still have one more test to go. So yeah, losing 4 wickets in that session was pretty disappointing.
Today, when they started with 4 wickets down, many expected that Bangladesh would do well, especially because they had the 2 batsmen who were actually in form still in the pavilion. Miraj and Litton were the 2 Bangladeshi batsmen who were actually in form. But the fight actually came from the left-hander, Shanto and Shakib. They played the entire first hour, which was supposed to be the danger time. They played that very well. And there was no wicket lost. And then they lost all 6 wickets in the second hour. Ashwin took again the major bulk of them. Ravi Jadeja ended up with 3 wickets, which means that he ends this test at 299. Ashwin ends this test having zoomed past, I would say, Courtney Walsh. Nathan Lyon is next in his sight. But the key point that I wanted to make out here, and you need to actually believe what I'm saying. Ravi Ashwin has the strike rate, which is the greatest in all-time Test cricket for anybody who has taken over 500 Test wickets. So let me repeat. He has the best strike rate amongst Test bowlers who has taken over 500 Test wickets. And who are the other names? Muttiah Muralidharan, Shane Warne, James Anderson, Anil Kumble, Stuart Broad, Glenn McGrath, Nathan Lyon, Courtney Walsh. All of them are legends, all-time greats. The closest is actually Glenn McGrath. So it is difficult for a spinner to have a better strike rate than a pace bowler. Usually pace bowlers bowl short spells and they take wicket in those short spells. That's why their strike rate is much better. So Glenn McGrath's strike rate was the best amongst this lot, 51.9. Ravi Ashwin's strike rate currently is 50.5. It's unthinkable. Also, he is currently joint second with Shane Warne on the number of 5 wickets hauls. Amato on the second innings, or rather the fourth day's play. First thing is that why did Rohit start with the Pacers in the first hour? Why did it take so much time to bring the spinners?
I think yes, mostly the cloud cover, because at this point of time we have the retreating monsoon in the Western Ghats and also in Chennai. So probably he probably thought that someone like Akashdeep or Bumrah might get something similar to what James Anderson usually does. But one thing that actually was well, that the cracks and tried like started opening up, and probably that's started helping our spinners as well. Tanto was set for a uh, big innings, but as it is, like Ashwin and Jadeja, they are like Batman and Robin when it comes to spin bowling. So they have saved Gotham City once again.
So, Dada, Muntakim, what are your takeaways from this first test? What are the things that you are happy about from this test?
The performance of the fast bowlers, they were actually doing this for quite some time now. They're pretty consistent and yeah, putting all the hard works. And yeah, bowling coach Andre Adams will be pretty happy, but not the batting coach David Ham. The batter should be a little bit more responsible and show some characters.
The injury controversy of Shakib al Hasan. First time in his entire career, Shakib has bowled more than 1 over, and both innings combined, in both innings, he went at more than a run a ball and never took a wicket. And the previous instance, he had only bowled 1 over. That was against Sri Lanka. So then Murli Kartik talked about that Shakib had complained about the uncomfortableness that he had felt. And I see that lot of Bangladeshi YouTubers are talking about it. In fact, Tamim also said in the commentary that whether Shakib should have told it to his captain, whether the captain knows or not. There was a question to Shanto in the post match press conference whether Shakib will be dropped for the second test. We'll come to the second test, but what do you think has happened to Shakib?
Sports is all about injury management, and he is actually managing this since 2018 when he had that surgery in his finger, and since then he was wrapping this one with scotch tape sometimes, some injection over there, painkiller injection. But in this test, he had that feeling that it is not having the feel that he's not feeling the ball, he's not getting the feeling of the ball that what should be done. So it was just an old injury that is actually giving him some pain and other things, because in after the Pakistan series he went to county and played for Sare. So he hasn't picked up the injury in recent past. It is an old injury. Unfortunately, he has the feeling, and when he described that, it was misleading because everybody thought that this injury and this surgery was done pretty recently, and that's why everybody was asking about his fitness and other things. But the physio and the management of the team has assured that it is the same thing that was happened in 2018 when he had that surgery. Was there some infection over there, and that was the thing that was actually disturbing him in this test match. Yeah, it was probably not good for the team. As Naim said, he was not a frontline bowler anymore. But it was just happened like that. When you started to play, you were feeling that yeah, it's not good. It's not like that he's carrying this for a long time. So that was the thing.
So I think I have a theory here. If Shakib had told it or not, I don't know. But Shakib was the designated fifth bowler. Okay. So the designated fifth bowler did not bowl so much as Shakib actually was forced to bowl. Look at how many overs Akashdeep bowled in this match. Akashdeep was the designated fifth bowler. So Bumrah, Siraj, and then Ashwin and Jaddu, all of them bowled. It is because Bangladesh were protecting Nahid Rana, who is express fast, so they did not want him to be. So Nahid Rana was actually not contributing as one bowler. He was contributing as 0.75 kind of a bowler, three-fourth of a bowler. In the second innings, he only bowled 4 overs. Why? He should have bowled at least, as much as Taskin and Hassan Mahmud actually bowled. They did not want to bowl with Nahid Rana because he is not so accurate, and then because they wanted to preserve him. That is why everything fell upon Shakib. Now, the moment they could see that Shakib is not bowling to that expectation, I think Shanto should have tried Mominul. Mominul didn't look out of place in the kind of 2-3 overs that he did. When India were going, I mean, Ashwin and Jadeja were going so great, Shanto should have tried some irregular bowlers. He never tried that. Even in the second innings, when Pant and Gill were going all guns blazing, should have tried somebody else. But he kept on with Shakib, and Shakib kept on giving runs, giving opportunities to everyone. I know that there are a lot of people who do not like Shakib for different reasons at this point in time. I'm not one of them.
I don't find any reason to be blamed to him, and more importantly, I don't find any lack of commitment from him, because whenever he is asked to bowl, he actually tried to deliver for the captain. Yeah, it wasn't meant to be because he had some niggles over there, and more importantly, uh, he's not feeling well, because it's very important for a bowler or even for a batter to enjoy the game. As a bowler, probably he was not enjoying the fullest. Yeah, you are right. Momin will have a knack of picking wickets in the crucial time, but we didn't try that one for some unknown reasons. In past, in especially in Bangladesh, I have seen to Mominul bowling 7, 8, even 10 overs. So yeah, probably not against India, but you can try at least 3 to 4 overs to give your premier bowlers a break.
I'll just say one more final stat. Ravi Jadeja has gone into a club of one. Test players who have contributed 2,000 runs and 200 wickets in victories, test victories for his team. The first name into that list is Ravi Jadeja. And I'm saying that the second name very soon will be Ravi Ashwin. Ravi Ashwin has contributed over 300 wickets, and he has around 1,943 runs in test victories of India. He needs 57 more runs. I don't know if he'll be able to manage 57 runs in Kanpur, but we are for sure to have that in the rest of the home season, definitely. The second test is in Kanpur. There is going to be a black soil pitch, which means it will be lower bounce, not as much bounce as this Chennai pitch. Most likely, we do not know. We are expecting. Kanpur is in Uttar Pradesh. I did my engineering in that place. It will not be as hot as Chennai, but it will be equally muggy. Okay, I don't think you'll find any rain in that place at this point. Kanpur hasn't had a test match in a long time, but Kanpur has a habit of giving turners. Do you think Bangladesh actually will find it better if it's a turner?
I believe, yeah, if everything goes with the norms of Kanpur, then Tajul might make an entry in the team. Uh, Hassan Mahmoud is playing well, but I don't know about his fitness, because he looked pretty tired in the second innings in the first test. Nahid Rana, he's a fresh injection in the team, but he's been bowling with his heart out. So and Taskin is injury prone. So if Taijul comes into the team, I believe Taskin might be opted out. If not, then Nahid Rana. Hassan Mahmud will make the team again, I believe. So there will be no option that Tajul will come in place of Shakib. Then you will be playing with a less batter, which is not good after your dismal performance in the first test.
India will drop Bumrah. They have only named the first test squad. So the second test will not have Bumrah. Kuldeep will come in, or Akshar may be coming. I don't know who will come in, but Kuldeep or Akshar, one of them will come in as the third spinner. If given that if it remains a black soil pitch, um, but do you think that Mominul will play and we will still have those four top order lefties?
No, I think Zakir will be dropped and Mahmudul Hassan Joy will come in place of him.
There are a lot of comments about Kohli and his apparent lack of form, whether he should be dropped, whether he should retire, or I mean, what India needs to do. I'll say this just this much, that this man, the last time he played was on some South African pitches, which was bouncing more than the trampoline, and he was one of the only Indian batsmen who looked comfortable.
Scored 79 odd runs.
And in the first innings, he played on a pitch which was completely moist. He would have still stayed there, but it was his first innings in 8 months. The second innings, like Muntakim Dada said, he actually should have taken the DRS. But he cannot blame anybody because it was his bat that had made touch. Should have taken the DRS. That's it. I am looking at Kohli from this perspective. His next test series, he comes up against Williamson. In his subsequent test series, he comes up against Steve Smith. In the subsequent one-day tournament, he comes up against Babar Azam. And in the subsequent test series after that, he comes up against Joe Root. So Kohli's legacy will get decided in this subsequent test series. Prediction for the Kanpur test.
I believe this will be another disappointing test for us because when there will be assistance for spin, will crumble even more, and it's like jet lag, something like that. The hallucination effect of Chennai Test, how they lost the game from their grip, especially in the first innings, and the bad performance in the batting in the both innings will have an effect of them, and I'm expecting an innings defeat there.
I think India would win, but I don't have that big margin. I think India wins.
This match is from 27th of September. So, this half of the week. And I am looking at the Kanpur weather. It is okay. I think there's a high of 33, low of 27 throughout this period. I again think the toss will be very important. If Bangladesh wins the toss and bats first, they will have a chance to put up a fight. I think you need to take out Nahid Rana. Nahid Rana, that kind of pace doesn't work with Indians that much unless he's accurate. It may work in Pakistan, it will not work with India. So you need to bring in Taijul for Nahid Rana. Definitely. Whether Shakib plays or not, or you bring in another batsman, pure batsman, that's a different call. I think you need to break up that four lefty top order. You need a right-hander somewhere at the top. Whether that is Mominul who goes out or two players goes out, that's a different thing. If they win the toss and bat first, then they will have an option to, go big. If for any reason India bats first, I think we are again not looking for a 5-day test. Now let's focus to something other than India, which is Afghanistan versus South Africa. Afghanistan defeated South Africa for the first time ever. They are the only other Asian nation other than India who have beaten all the SENA countries, South Africa, England, New Zealand, and Australia, in one format or the other in the last 12 months.
Well, in white ball cricket, their revolution has been eye-touching in a sense that they were always exceptional team in T20 format because of their exciting players and the different nature of the bowling options. But in last 1 year or so, have been phenomenal in the 50-over format. Yeah, Jonathan Trott has transformed this team into something new. The bulk of the credit goes to the opening duo, that is Rahmanullah Gurbaz and Ibrahim Zadran. In past, uh, Afghanistan never had issues with the bowlers, but they always had the issues of their top order batting. They used to crumble against the quality bowling attack. But Gurbaz and Ibrahim Zadran given themselves the platform, the stability, and quite frequently one of them is scoring big along with Shahidi, Rahmat Shah, and other things. When they get the necessary platform that they actually need for their bowlers, their bowlers become unstoppable. And when you are playing in Sharjah and Dubai, South Africa always will be in question, especially with the squad that has traveled there. And probably South Africa themselves couldn't believe that they were 36 for 7 against the fast bowlers. So yeah, Afghanistan in a whole package, they're coming and they're coming to storm in world.
Yeah, I mean, Mohammad Nabi, the old war horse from Afghanistan, has now beaten 46 different countries. So if he adds India, I think that list will get complete, but he has defeated 46 countries. Afghanistan is truly a story to behold. And I think if Bangladesh is probably the second best test playing nation within Asia, then Afghanistan is the second best white ball playing nation within Asia. Definitely, they have made great progress, and I really wish Afghanistan are able to play more test matches because that team can actually grow. Finally, let's talk about the England versus Australia white ball series. I don't know why they are playing this series at the fag end of the English season. Half of the English team is not there. The other half are injured, and some of them are preparing for the test series against Pakistan. And then Travis Head is creating all sorts of records, opening the innings. He's in both one days and T20s, which is causing a question to be asked whether Travis Head should be opening in Test cricket in Border Gavaskar Trophy. So I'll ask Amoto, what do you want? Who do you want in that opening slot? Travis Head or Steve Smith to partner with Usman Khwaja?
I think I'll take Travis Head because if it, yes, I am taking Travis Head
Why?
because then uh, because Bumrah has a Bumrah is phenomenal like his left-handers, and Test cricket is a different ball game altogether. It's not uh it's not the Motera Stadium again where you can just flat bat everything over the boundary. I'll go with Travis Head.
Yeah, I mean, I would also go with Travis Head, definitely. I do not think Steve Smith is in the kind of form who would need, special attention. Travis Head actually is in form. Travis Head and Usman Khwaja starting in the Australian summer as an opener could either mean that Australia goes boom at the top or bust at the top. And it would probably take out the most informed Australian batsman at this point out of the equation, could have them out of the equation. Travis Head at 5 is probably a bit more dangerous. Having said that, Travis Head at the top does also give the opportunity for Australia to go big and counter Bumrah in that manner. So it will be a head-to-head fight between Bumrah and Travis Head, and probably they are trying to shield Steve Smith, which is an acknowledgement that Australia feels Steve Smith actually needs shielding. That itself is a very, very un-Australian way of thinking. The Australian way of thinking is that we have taken a call, we stay with it. That's it. We give it a time, Steve Smith will come good eventually, right? But if they are taking a back step, that means just after one season, they have understood Steve Smith is not fit for opening. They did a mistake, and now they are forced to push the most informed batsman amongst their lot at the top. So with that, I thank you, Muntakimda and Omokto, for being in this show. We'll come again after the second test is over with our next episode. Till then, please let us know any of your thoughts around this episode. Please do share it with your friends. It's been a pleasure bringing this episode to you. If you like this episode, please like and share it. Please also subscribe or follow our podcast.